Hello everyone, and for this week's reviews, I decided to do something a little different. Over the past few weeks, Netflix released the long-awaited return of two beloved Nicktoons. One a 45-minute special, and the other a 71-minute movie, and I'm going to share my thoughts on both. First, an Australian wallaby finally returns home and finds his town is a little different than he remembers. This is Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling. I will admit I was not a frequent viewer of Rocko as a child. I watched it here and there, but not as religiously as I did the likes of Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, and Angry Beavers. So I'm looking at the special more from the perspective of a casual viewer of the original show. I liked it. The focus is mostly on Rocko and him trying to understand modern society, which, well, that was the premise of the series. There are a number of jokes at the expense of things like iPhones, but this is actually more of a character piece, as we follow Rocko trying to bring back his favorite show. Yeah, there's a lot of meta-humor in Static Cling, and most of the jokes do land. I especially enjoyed reading the ticker whenever we cut to news reports. The animation looks exactly like the show. Did they just dig up the original model sheets or something? It feels like another episode of Rocko's Modern Life, rather than something created several years later. For something that is extremely faithful, the special is also able to touch on the theme of change. While it's nice to think back to the nice memories from our past, you should not let that blind you from the pleasures that new and current things can bring, and I think that's an important message to send. A lot has also been discussed about one of the characters now revealing herself as a trans woman. I think creator Joe Murray and the other writers managed to show this in a way that was respectful and forward-thinking, and it added a heartwarming element to Static Cling. Overall, I found it to be a funny and enjoyable special. The other Nicktoon to hit Netflix this month was the return of an alien with plans to conquer the Earth. This is Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus. I will admit Invader Zim was a show I got into very late, as I did not watch it until 10 years after the series originally aired. Thankfully, that did not affect my enjoyment of this warped and freaky show. Enter the Florpus definitely continues in the tradition of what Jonan Vasquez originally created, and does not flinch in showing the diabolical nature of Zim's plan. Zim's over-the-top reactions to everything he comes across are hilarious, and Richard Horvitz seems to revel in portraying his personality. There's also Gur the Robot, who is a frequent scene stealer in the original series, and I remain a fan of his adorably random tangents. Div's desperation to reveal Zim to the world is properly portrayed here, but the movie also goes a bit more into his relationship with his father. The animation has been given a slight upgrade with a lot more shadows, reflecting the size and scope of this story. The movie also experiments with the Invader Zim style at times, and I especially got a kick out of one visual gag. If another 20 minutes had been added to the runtime, this would have been worthy of a theatrical release. Story-wise, it does feel like a longer episode of the show, but the pacing still works. It's worth pointing out the movie is a lot more focused on the world domination plot. The series would frequently show Zim pretending to be a school student and messing with the school and his classmates, and we don't see that here. But that's not a detriment to the movie. Clearly, this is the story Vasquez wanted to tell, and it works very well. The humor is still there, as is the wild sensibility of Invader Zim. As I said, both of these are on Netflix, so check them out and let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this week's reviews, and I'll see you next time.